How do you say goodbye? For those without attachment, it's just a bicycle, and it has been sitting in my garage for the last 7 years, sitting, waiting, like a dutiful soldier, always ready to go, but sadly never being chosen. By today's standard, it's old and outdated. But it wasn't always that way.
There was a time when this bike was the belle of the ball, the first to be picked for the baseball team. She might not look like much, but back in the day, in 2002, she was a beauty. She's a 2002-ish Liahona Mission. 2.3-inch tires, full mechanical disc brakes, 24 speeds. Odds are, unless you're Mormon and you served a 2-year mission, you've never heard of this bike. And after this video, you will never hear about this bike company ever again. But before we go too far, let's go back just a little bit. First of all, I love bikes. I always have, and I always will. While other kids were playing video games, I was riding my bike and exploring every street and pile of dirt in my small Idaho town. After turning 19, I chose to serve a mission and got placed in sunny Florida. Blue skies, beaches, sometimes, but mostly it was hurricanes and humidity. After receiving my call, it was time to say goodbye. I wouldn't see my family for 2 years, and for the most part, it really wasn't a big deal, except for one person, my grandma. She was old and she was frail, and her health was declining. As I hugged her and said goodbye, I knew that this would probably be the last time that I would see her. As a parting gift, she gave me $100, and we tearfully said goodbye. I got to Florida and I needed a bike. Another missionary was selling his, and he gave me the hard sell. But the truth is, I loved it. I wanted it. Matte black, disc brakes, and keep in mind, in 2003, disc brakes weren't on every bike, especially the cheap ones. But most importantly, it was an extra large frame. I'm kind of a tall guy, and so having a bike that fits me was a game changer. I could ride for hours and my back wouldn't hurt. So using the money my grandma gave me, I bought the bike. Apparently Liahona had a reputation for making kind of crappy bikes, but apart from being a little bit heavy, this bike was bulletproof. Even on our days off, I was riding it. I could go ride the trails, at the streets. I just wanted to ride everywhere and explore just like I did when I was a kid. After about 10 months, I had gotten the call that my grandma had passed away. She was gone, but her memory and her gift continued to live on. After spreading the good word for 2 years, I came home and went straight to college. Literally 8 hours after getting off the airplane, I went to school. My mom did not like that at all. But sure enough, the Liahona came with me. If I failed the test, bike ride. Aced the project, bike ride. Bored, bike ride. Got dumped, bike ride. I think you get the point. This bike was my transportation, my gym, my stress relief, my best friend. As roommates and girlfriends would come and go, this bike was always there. As the bike began to age and technology improved, I found myself wanting a new bike. After going for rides, my hands would hurt so bad from holding on so tight that it would hurt for a few days afterwards. And after graduating and getting a big boy job with a big boy paycheck, I decided to buy a full suspension all mountain bike, and it was awesome. I could ride forever and not hurt the next day. And slowly, the Liahona began to fade into the back of the garage. Truthfully, I should have sold it, but I couldn't bear the thought. Selling it would be like selling a sibling. I just couldn't do it. It was part of me. I couldn't sell it. So for the next 7 years, I kept it around until today. Today will be my last ride. So I chose this trail because it's smooth. The front fork on this bike is pretty much dead. And so if it's a rocky trail, like I said, it's gonna hurt your hands a lot because you gotta grip extra tight. This is the trail that whenever I was stressed or bored, I'd come ride on. So this bike has been on this trail a million times. It just flows along this stream right here. Absolutely beautiful. Hopefully I don't need to, So this bike doesn't have a front derailleur. It got donated, we'll call it, to another bike. So to shift it, you have to use this guy. You just kind of reach down. Actually, you have to go backwards. Go and shift it. There you go. See? Technology. I love this bike, but I don't think I quite love riding it so much. I'm positive it's better to say goodbye than to watch it rot in my garage. So how do you say goodbye? I don't want to scrap it, but I'd feel guilty selling it. I wish there was a way that somebody else could enjoy this bike. Even if it's just for one day. Even if it gets scrapped out, that's fine. But knowing that the parts live on, somehow I want the memory of this bike to go on. Luckily, that place exists, and it's called Aggie Blue Bikes at USU. You can donate your old bike, and they will fix it, or use it for parts to fix other bikes. Then they'll take those bikes and loan them out to students. They will also teach you how to repair and fix your old bike. Donating my Liahona to Aggie Blue Bikes really is the best option. So why would I hold on to a bike for 7 years? Why would I make a video about a bike from 2002? It's not about the bike. It's about my grandma. My grandma didn't give me just $100. She gave me a lifelong passion for cycling. I don't hold on to this bike because it's the best bike. I hold on to it because I love my grandma. And perhaps there's no real good way to say goodbye. I was on the other side of the country when she passed away. And I feel like I never got a chance to really say goodbye. And that's probably why I held on to this bike for as long as I did. Not because it's a great bike, not because I love it, but because I love my grandma. And unlike my feelings for this bike, my love for my grandma will never fade away. Grandma, thanks for everything. Thanks for the bike. It's hard to say goodbye to a beloved bike. But as one love ends, another love can begin.